Bailey, I know this is never fun to revisit and talk about, but it's an important story, and I appreciate you having a willingness to talk about it here.
Yeah, thank you. I know one of the biggest things for me has just been from the very beginning is just awareness surrounding this issue and being vocal about it. Talking about it is super important. And I know that had I even, begun college knowing the rights that I had or the right things to do, that the way things played out in the end could have been totally different than what they ended up being.
And when this happened, you immediately sought help for this, and you talked to the counseling center. Was this something that they were shocked about?
No, quite the opposite. So actually, it took me about a week until I did seek help for the assault, what had happened to me. I think in my situation, I was blaming myself for a lot of things. There's just no way that that would possibly happen to somebody like me. There had to have been something. And it wasn't until, it really started to mess with me. And I realized, like, no, I have to just admit that this happened and get help, that I did seek help. So when I got there and I spoke with the counselor, the first two things that she had asked me was, A, did you go get a rape test done? And did I go to the police yet? And I informed her, well, I did not go to the clinic to get a rape test done because I was on my parents' health insurance at the time, and I did not want my parents getting a bill in the mail showing that that service was provided. And so I said, well, no. And I explained that to the counselor, and she said, okay, I understand. And what about the police? And I said, well, a fake ID was used the night that I met the perpetrators. And I did not want to get in trouble for underage drinking and having a fake ID. And instead of telling me that would have been completely overlooked, I was told, okay, I understand. And after that, she kind of told me, well, let's talk about options. When we see other women just like yourself that come in and make these reports, we see that it is more harmful for them when they do decide to press charges. And if you decide to do that, you are going to be swimming with some really big fish. Or I can focus on myself and getting my headspace back to normal and healthier. And we have a sexual assault center with resources for you.
And you never forgotten that swimming with really big fish statement? You think that was meant to intimidate you at that moment? Yeah,
and it worked. It worked. Yeah. I mean, I pretty much left there thinking, okay, I don't have any other options besides just going and getting myself better, which, gave it a couple months, and it got very, very bad where I did have to seek inpatient care.
You did leave school.
I ended up in the hospital. I did not want to be on earth anymore about 5-6 months after the assault. And with that, I was going into sports journalism. That was my dream my entire life. So I was working for Big Ten Network. I was doing sideline reporting, play-by-plays. I was, in contact with these athletes that I praised for so long. And when that dream was also just taken out from under me, I did have to take time off school and reset and figure out what else I can do.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.